It was Texas, it was Tennessee. It was what I had coming to me.
Alrighty, folks. Happy Tuesday. It is. We are thrilled to have you on the Texas to Tennessee podcast with our friend Soul Gravy to my left. My name's Steve, and tonight we are thrilled to have our friend Caleb Michael on. So thanks for being
Going
here,
on,
man.
y'all. Yes, sir. Happy to be here, man.
Welcome. Yeah, I know you got some stuff going on tonight, so we got to try to get right to it. But first off, if you could maybe tell us a little bit give us your backstory, take a couple minutes, and then we'll get into asking some of the heavy hitting questions.
Sure, yeah. So I'm originally from Lake Dallas, Texas. I've been singing since I was a little kid in church. Really took to doing the professional music thing, paid gigs in 2015 when I was about 21. I said, screw college, done with working I've been working manual labor till this year, but full-time just trying to go into music, dive into it. I started that just solo, doing my thing. I was complaining one day to my little brother, like, man, I need a bassist or a lead guitarist. And he shows up, he was making the big bucks because he had a job. Shows up with a bass and he's like, I'm going to be your bassist. I was like, bet. Shortly after that, my youngest brother joined with us, and we were the Caleb Michael Band. And we toured around Texas doing our little folk music thing. And it was amazing. We had a lot of fun. There's nothing like camaraderie among brothers on stage. And COVID really killed that. My youngest brother got his wife pregnant, and they started their little family. And 2021, I met some fantastic musicians, and we started what is now Caleb Michael and the Arrested. And it kind of went from more of a red dirt folk thing to a more southern rock kind of deal. And we're trying to be something that no one else is. Obviously there are influences from people that I'm sure you've heard of, Whiskey Myers, Shane Smith, people like that. But all in all, we want to be ourselves, and that's who we are today.
Cool. Well, I know you guys are based out of Denton, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we like to play a little game. This is specifically for Soul Gravy's benefit, but we're going to go through and name some of the well-known folks from Denton, and he's got to guess who they are. Today's pretty easy, actually, so We'll see how it goes. First off, do you know the Von Erich brothers?
Of course.
Soul Gravy?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right, all four of them?
We watched the movie not long ago. It's kind of weird.
Entertaining, though?
No, it was entertaining, but it's just, anyway, continue. I'm no critic, so continue on.
Yep, they're from Denton. Also, this is the second or third time this person has come up on the podcast, which is kind of wild. But do you remember Morgan Fairchild?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So she was the female other lead in Redheaded Stranger.
Yes.
Remember the first 10 minutes of that movie? Yeah. Shout out to Morgan Fairchild.
Yeah, the one that tried to take the horse.
Yeah.
I mean, no. She was the one that he named the horse after.
One. Right. Yeah.
My bad.
That's okay. We got the movie, so you're good. Phyllis George. This is a little bit of a throwback.
No.
Phyllis George, 1975, was the first female on-air personality. She was on the NFL Today, so you got to go way back.
Okay.
1975. I think she might have been Miss America too. Just FYI. Sam Bass.
There was a wrestler named Sam Bass. There's why else do I know that name? I saw that not long ago too.
Okay, well he's a pretty famous outlaw, and to this day still has the.
That's actually I saw it on a Western movie. That's I was flipping channels and I saw something in Sam Bass on the. And okay, that makes sense.
There you go. And he was till as of today still the largest U.S. train robbery in history was done by this guy. So shout out to Sam. How about that?
That's right.
All right.
Get a fish named after him. So
not bad. So this next list is folks that I don't know that all of them are from Denton, but one of the great things about Denton is they have that fantastic music school at UNT, which is pretty well known. But I'm going to list some of these bands. You can tell me if you've heard of them before. Bowling for Soup.
Yeah. Yep.
Jared went to school there. Eli Young Band. I think you're familiar with
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Meatloaf.
Mm-hmm. I had
Then
meatloaf last night. So continue.
there you go. Nora Jones.
Uh-huh.
Michael Martin Murphy.
Uh-huh.
Somebody we talked about recently, Ray Wiley Hubbard.
Hubbard. Yes.
Yep. Pat Boone.
Yeah.
You remember Pat
Yeah.
Boone? Yeah,
I
you know
do.
Pat Boone. All right. Roy Orbison,
Uh-huh.
Sly Stone, and Don Henley. It's a pretty good list.
Yeah, that's a pretty wide range list right there.
Hell yeah.
It is. It is. Well, the school is amazing. I can't say enough good things about the school, and one of the perks of being in that area is you might run into somebody that plays an instrument. So,
Yeah,
pretty
couple.
cool. Right? For
Yeah,
sure.
it seems
All
like
right.
the University of North Texas has come up several times on the pod in the past from some of our guests.
It has.
So
Hell yeah.
For sure.
I'm
I
just
know
scared to
Mike.
name
Well, I
names because
didn't.
I don't want to be wrong.
Well, I didn't even bring up Mike Ryan, who we had on recently, but I know he
right.
went to school there and spent a bunch of time. We talked a little bit about that. So,
Yep.
All right, Caleb, thanks for putting up with our shenanigans. This next question is the goofy question of the night. Everything else from here is downhill. So,
Deal.
all right, I'm going to give you a pie, and I want you to divide it up into 4 sections.
Okay.
So the 4 sections have to do with the music business. First one is songwriting. The second slice of the pie is recording. The third slice is performing. And then the fourth part is everything else in terms of running your own individual business. So all the associated business related things that aren't necessarily involved in the creation or performance of music. So my question for you is, which of those 4 areas do you kind of naturally gravitate towards?
I would probably say performing. I love writing and stuff like that. There are many people with much brighter minds than mine. Not an idiot by any stretch of the imagination, but I mean, it takes a special person to, that songwriter mind's something different.
For sure. Okay,
So
cool.
definitely performing.
And then if you were going to kind of, I don't know, go down the list, would it be, the business side of it or writing or performing that would kind of...
It'd probably be performing, songwriting, because I do love it. I love it dearly. That's one thing that I've, even though if I don't ever show it to anyone, don't ever do anything with it.
Right.
If there's something going on in here that I can't tell anyone, it's getting written down and maybe used later. Thankfully, over the past year and a half, management's probably down at the bottom.
Gotcha.
It's the smallest slice of pie. That's my guy over here, Chance, that he's thankfully taken over that.
Nice. Well, that's obviously an important part of it. And if you got somebody, sounds like Chance knows what he's doing. So that's that's fantastic. Yeah.
Yes.
Very cool. In terms of the songwriting, maybe to dig in a little bit deeper, do you prefer to do it kind of on your own, or are you more of a co-write guy, or
as of recently, I think Tim Lightyear.
Oh yeah.
So my first ever time writing with someone, it's always been something that I've held very deeply personal.
Sure.
Things that I feel like I can't say to someone else, and I put in to ways that other people could relate with them, to where I know what I'm saying, but they can take it for what they want. I got to kind of do that with Tim about 2.5 weeks ago, and he really sat me down and kind of gave me a framework for how to do that and how to express that to someone else. And we sat there for 5-6 hours, busted out a whole song. And honestly, now I think I'm more of a co-write guy than a personal write guy. It was honestly a very, I hate to put it this way, but kind of an intimate writing deal. Like
Sure.
you get to feel that other person's emotions going into the same combined deal, you know?
Well, and I would imagine that, and Tim's probably a great example of somebody that you'd be hard pressed to find somebody better to sit down and do that with.
Yes.
I'm sure there are folks that, it can happen where you sit down and things just don't jive and you're like, all right,
Right.
different styles or whatever. But, Tim's wonderful. I think we're all super fond of him. Process wise, in terms of actual writing, are you, shout notes into your iPhone kind of guy, or are you sitting down with the guitar and working the melody out first, or what?
Definitely a mixture. But what comes before all that is probably a little more alcohol than should be there.
Fair enough.
Because, like I said, it is a vulnerable spot, and I got to kind of let myself be that vulnerable. But no, it's usually, sit down with the guitar. I kind of have a melody in my head and just kind of play it over and over till something comes out. And then, that's kind of cool. Write it down. So yeah, it's never like I have a planned out. I mean, I've changed melodies plenty of times, verses, whatever. Start with something that you think is cool. My first ever released song was supposed to kind of be like Water is the song. Was supposed to be like a fast pace, like Shane Smith, like da 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 da, and it completely changed to very slow 4/4, it just changed completely. So I mean, I never have anything set in stone. It's just kind of spew and see what comes out.
And I think I've at least heard, there are different approaches to this, but some folks like to sit down, get it all done, and kind of put it to bed and move on to the next thing. And some people will sit on a verse for 9 months before do you fall into either one of those categories?
I'm definitely the 9-month guy for sure.
Okay.
My songs are like a baby. They sit for a hot minute, they incubate, and then hopefully pop into something beautiful one day.
Nice.
Yeah, and I mean, honestly, I can't take a lot of credit for some of the stuff that we put out. My ex-lead guitarist, wonderful guy, CJ Briscoe, Where the Crows Fly, On My Heels, huge part in those songs. I mean, you can see the credits. Wonderful songwriter. But I mean, yes, coming to writing with all of our songs, there's a huge influence from all of us. Once it comes to the band floor, it's free reign.
Gotcha.
I mean, that's just, I love my guys, and I want them to have a part in that,
Cool. And then I probably should follow up on the Tim piece too. So just because I don't know, has he produced any of your stuff, or is that something that potentially could happen down the road?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know. Okay.
We produced with Panhandle these last 9 songs, I believe, 8 or 9 songs, and wonderful.
Yep.
Amazing experience, man. Eric Herbst is an
great
unbelievable
things.
Producer.
Yep.
He turned a few of our songs like, hey, it kind of goes this way. I think it should go this way. And amazing guy. Given I am a broke musician, so can't always afford stuff like that. And having an insanely talented friend like Tim, who knows the struggle, who does have a studio that I am willing to, for sure, fork over that money to.
Right.
Yeah, we're definitely talking about doing that, especially with this new song that we just wrote. We're super pumped about that one.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to that. I'm a fan of all of Tim's stuff. And sometimes I don't even know it's his stuff, but I'll be like, man, that sounds like something Tim would do. So I'll start kind of rolling through the credits and trying to figure out exactly what he was involved in. I'm like, Tim, I need you to give me a playlist of all your stuff. So. All right, Soul Gravy, I've monopolized the first fifth of this deal, so it's all yours.
Well, the first 14.26 minutes or 26 seconds is devoted to you every time. So, so I'm a fan of Tim as well, man. I didn't know him before before Talbot and before that he came on the podcast, really, but super likable guy. You can tell as soon as you start talking to the guy, you know what I mean? And then you hear you, and we've just heard countless number of people saying similar things. So that doesn't happen without that reputation of being authentic. So what do you have going on tonight? Can we touch on that a little bit? You're sitting in a van talking to us. Let everybody know why we're on a little bit earlier and why you're sitting in a van.
One, I do apologize for that. I agreed to this before I booked this gig. We got
no
my
need.
manager.
We just get to go to bed earlier. You know,
Hell yeah.
We're older, so this works for us.
Yeah.
My manager set up an awesome deal down here in San Marcos at Cheatham Street with Low Gap. And I think their stuff's awesome. They're young kids. They're putting out real country music. And, while my full band stuff is a little more Southern rock, when I do my solo thing, it's a little more country folksy. So he told him, like, hey, let's bring Caleb down there. He'll open up for you, do an hour set, blah, blah, blah. And here we are 4.5 hours south of where I live on a Tuesday night, sitting in a van talking to y'all. This is why I quit my job, to do stupid stuff like this, drinking White Claws on the way down. Shouldn't say that. Getting ready to just showing up early, seeing these historic places. It's truly a blessing, especially to have this guy Chance with me to share these experiences. It's awesome.
And Soul, just to throw something in, that's a venue I'm pretty sure that Randy's involved with.
Randy owns it, and this is actually where George Strait was discovered.
Yeah. Wild, right?
I got you. Yeah, I think most everybody has heard about him. I think possibly.
I think, yeah.
Yeah. There's debates apparently all over TikTok whether he's the real king of country music or not. I've got Jeff Canada.
Get everybody fired up.
Yeah. Leave it to Jeff to get people arguing. I guess one of the things I was going to ask, as far as with your co-writing stuff, now that you kind of caught that bug, do you think you'll be able to do that with it being a less personal? Does that make sense that you'll be able to do it more often without having to be so deep?
It's always, like I said, that's always been like my escape, is writing that kind of stuff. And I'm really more trying to concentrate on getting back to my roots, not changing the Caleb Michael and the Arrested sound, but getting back to more of the, folksy kind of sound and stuff, to where, if I do want to write a song that's happy, it doesn't have to be deep and heartfelt, that's going to punch you in the gut, which is what me and Tim did. But no, it definitely, I think here coming up, I got 2 that I'm writing right now on my own. Ooh, excuse me. That are a little more upbeat, fun dancing songs. I miss seeing people dance to our music, and I enjoy seeing people headbang. That shit's fun. For sure. But seeing couples dance and hold each other tight and dance to what you're playing, it really, you feel that whenever you see it. So yes, definitely writing a little bit more, not less heartfelt, but less gut wrenching, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yes, definitely.
Yeah, I could see where the co-write would just change, where you don't have to be in a certain mindset to write a song. You could bounce that off of someone and take some of their ideas too. And
yes, sir.
Yeah, would lead you down different roads. And like you said, Tim is probably one of the best I mean, that's a hell of a start right there.
Oh, man. One of the best things about him is, he sat there and he made me do a meditation. I've done them on my own before. He was like, 5-minute medi. All right. I was like, for real? I was like, okay. And he's like, how do you feel? I was like, I'm ready to go, bro. Let's do it. And then he sat me down there and just kind of gave me his framework. And I'm like, you make this feel so much easier than I've ever thought it could be. Great dude.
Yeah,
super cool.
Especially trying to go into that going with somebody else. You've got to
exactly.
You're not starting from zero all over again.
Yeah.
I imagine that is kind of a weird thing as far as opening up. One is just opening up in a song is probably something that's nerve wracking on its own.
It's
but
scary.
Then opening up in front of with another songwriter.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother level of scary.
Luckily, I have, and I know I'm talking about Tim a lot. I've had a decent relationship.
He's a sponsor.
Yeah, right. By the way, this is by Tim. No, I've had a pretty decent relationship with him for 6-7 years. Not just going over to his house. Back when he played in Shane, I met him there, and we've always kept in touch. So it made it a lot easier to take that direction and feel that. So, yes, for sure.
Yeah, gotcha.
So last EP I think came out was it the end of August? that right? Or the July?
August.
August. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
And I don't know, I think you had mentioned that you're, kind of keeping an eye towards the future in terms of potentially having some new stuff down the road. But being the beginning of the year, do you have any, I don't know, short-term goals, that things that you want to accomplish maybe this year? And then I'd also be curious if you spend time thinking about what your longer-term, goals might be.
Absolutely. So, short-term goals, this is one thing about my manager, Chance. He's basically dad. He's the band dad. And, you know, he's not afraid to sit me down and be like, hey, we need to talk. And, it's things that I'm already thinking about, but just haven't verbalized to anyone. And we sit there, and definitely one of our short-term goals right now is to, one, get a better show. We go out there and we play 90, 100 minutes with songs back to back to back, going in like that. Not quite a show yet.
Gotcha.
Two, we want to get some more like acoustic broken down stuff out there. Just, keep people listening and stuff like that. Some people, we released an acoustic version of our song New Low with THD Provisions down here in Austin, and people loved it. Some people love the recorded version. Some people love the acoustic version. And so we're trying to get some studio time to, that's a lot cheaper and easier to do.
Oh, for sure.
Than going in full production on a brand new song. Right.
Right.
That's definitely the short-term goals for right now.
Cool. Anything beyond down the road, things that you want to, I guess, check off?
Yes, for sure. One of my dreams is to be on the road. I'm married. I have a beautiful wife at home, and I tell her all the time, I can't wait to. I'm trying not to cuss too much. I can't wait to miss you. I can't wait to miss you. I want to be on the road. Like, I see you every day. I love you. I see you every day, but I can't wait to be away from home and miss you. I want to go play shows for 10, 12, 14 days and be like, I'm ready to see my girl. And that's something that actually is looking like a very big possibility right now. Little Midwestern tour later this year.
Oh, cool.
But yes, I say that's long term. I try to think within the year. I try not to get too ahead of myself.
And then the idea of taking your music, beyond Texas.
Yes.
I always think of Jinx because of that. Because he was a guy that another guy that lived in Denton for a while that I don't know why I didn't put him on the list. He should have been. But he kind of gave a blueprint for folks that maybe were at home at Texas, but also knew that their sound would carry beyond the state lines.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't say enough good things. I think he's a brilliant businessman and kind of how he's gone about it.
He's awesome. I actually found out about him before hearing my bassist, my younger brother, welder by trade. He went and welded the dude's fence, and he handed him the Adobe Session CD signed while he was doing his fence. And I was like, oh my God, this dude's amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
So definitely he's paved a path, and that path changes a little bit every day. And we're trying to find that path for us.
Sure.
We got young dumbass kids in our band that I love so much. We got my old ass that's over here trying to make sure that I can support my wife. It's a lot, the path is different for everyone. And we're just trying to find that right path with the framework that has been set before us from others.
Yep. Obviously, Chance is, you said he's the band dad, but is there anybody that you maybe go to outside of your immediate group of folks, maybe in the business, outside of the business, for some unbiased advice?
Two people. Corey Dement. He's Shane Smith's tour manager.
Yep.
I never thought I'd meet someone with such a big band. Like, I mean, they're huge now, right?
Right.
That is so willing to help. And then I don't know if you've met her. Her name's Kelby Drew. She's down here in the Austin area. She works with Keystone Management.
Okay.
And I mean, between me and Chance talking to her, I never thought that people would be that willing to give up information. Like everyone that I've talked to, you know, they're always like hush hush about how they're doing their stuff. Heather Anderson from the ranch down here, beautiful person. She's helped us along the way. But really, I mean, I can for sure say Corey Dement and Kelby Drew.
Awesome.
If I go to them, they're ready to help out anytime.
Very cool. Well, I think it is, you know, and I'm definitely not an expert on this, but I do think it is helpful to have a few of those folks that from time to time can shoot you straight, you know, or maybe give you a little inside skinny to help us through those challenging times. But we are at halftime, so I think we are going to play the Where the Crows Fly. Do you mind maybe giving us a little bit about that song before we let everybody hear it? Awesome.
So, like I said earlier, my homie CJ Briscoe used to be lead guitarist. He's now doing his own thing with his band St. Ivy. He came to us one day after about 2.5 months, 3 months of being in the band, was like, yo, I've got a rock song. I wrote it on the acoustic guitar, but just follow me here. I was like, bet. And started laying it down. I was like, okay, bet. Pick up your electric, plug it into my Mesa. Let me hear that with some distortion. And it just kind of all came together there. You know, like I said, with all the songs that are on this EP, and the singles before, it was very much so full band participation. Drummers figuring out his part, Josh figuring out his part. We're all writing our own stuff. And it's really I don't want to say an anti-establishment, but it's kind of like a FU kind of song.
Yeah.
Kind of just saying like, hey, you put me down. That's okay. I'll be all right.
Nice. All right, cool. Well, I'm going to go silent on my end, Soul Gravy, and so hopefully we can get a decent recording of this or cut of it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So I'll have to edit that part. let's. I'm sorry. I'm muted on the phone and instead of turning down my microphone. Whoops. I'm a professional. Damn it. That was great.
Yeah. Wow. That was impressive.
Maybe I shouldn't. I'll just keep it. Shit, I mess up all the time. All right, so here's take 2 of the Caleb Michael and the Arrested. Where the Crow Flies.
All right.
It was really good in my ears, man. I was rocking out. So
it's gonna be even better the second time.
That was just a sneak peek. I wanted to make sure we were good before you guys heard it, and we're good. We're good. So here we go. Yeah, man. See, I told y'all that it was a really good song. I'm glad y'all could finally hear
Man, you sound great. You really
Thank you,
do.
man.
Yeah.
it.
I
Yeah,
also
man.
can figure out which part CJ's wrote.
All of them.
Yeah, those are some pretty
All
crispy
the
riffs in
lyrics
there.
are
Yeah.
his. The
Oh,
lyrics
okay.
are his. Yes. Like legit, he came in with that song, wrote like legit guitar part and lyrics
Yeah,
done, ready to go. I was like, and that's when I said that it takes a special mind to do that kind of stuff.
for sure.
He's
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Really
Understood.
enjoyed it.
So from your point of view, we ask this question quite a bit, but it is interesting to get different takes on it. As far as when you're at a gig and you know a piece of the crowd's going to know your stuff, but a lot of folks might not, and you're whether you're opening spot or whatever you're doing, and after you and your band kind of kick off and head start to bob, and you can tell you're starting to win them over a little bit. How's that feeling from your point of view?
It's like nothing else. My wife probably says it the best, which is also kind of the worst. She'll always come second to my music. That feeling on stage whenever you see those people starting to get into it. I tell my band every time we get on stage, I tell them, I don't give a fuck what they do out there, if they respond, what they're doing. You put on the show like you're never going to play again. Like you're playing in front of the biggest crowd ever. And they do that. I'm always proud of my guys. And when we see that actually happen, it's like nothing else. It's a drug. I
Mm.
We're all ready for our next hit.
Yeah, and then it takes forever to get back in that position again.
Exactly.
Wait.
Yep.
Right, and drive 8 hours to get there to wait again.
Exactly.
What about as far as when they like come up to the merch table and things like that after the fact?
I love it. I'm a very like stuff like this. I get very nervous for like having interview or podcasts and stuff like that. People come up and talk to me. I might scare them away. I talk too much. I love it, especially we've had some fans come up that have truly fallen in love with our music, that have taken a message. Like our song "Water" is about substance abuse and addiction, and we've had people come to our shows with like pictures of their loved ones who passed and stuff like that, and be like, "Hey, this is my son who died from blah 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 addiction. Thank you so much for the song." And it's I love that. Selling a shirt
Right.
means shit to me. That means I can buy another shirt. The interaction at the table is what I really care about. Actually make a connection with that person. Um, yeah, I love that shit.
But at the same time, buy
That's awesome.
Yeah, but at the same time, buy our shirts.
It's
Good
it's
job,
just
Mr.
gas
Manager.
money, folks. It's just gas money. It's all it is.
Well,
Going in the
you
tank.
got to get to the next town to sell another shirt.
Exactly.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
so that
For
all
sure.
goes hand in hand. And I'm sure when folks have those kind words, just to know that people are paying attention, I'm sure is fuel in the tank for you and the band as well. So
It's honestly very humbling. I never thought. I mean, we have no monthly listeners compared to a lot of bands. We have 4,200 right now. I never would have thought 4,200 people would be listening to our music, let alone reaching out and saying, "Hey, you've helped me through this." It's second to none.
understood. When you
Th-
release music, I'm sorry. When you release music like that, sometimes you can kind of be putting it out into the ether, and you don't really know what the return's going to be. But then
Exactly.
when you got a face in front of you telling you those things, then
Yeah.
that's it may take months to get that reward, but that's part of the reward.
Exactly. Yes.
I've heard that a decent amount where people go, we don't have enough monthly listeners, and I understand that is a measurement, and
Mm-hmm.
many places, when you're trying to book shows and whatever, that's one of the things that can factor in a decision for a venue owner. But think about how hard it is to get 4,200 people in one space, right?
Yes.
Like we'll travel. I say you will travel, all over this huge state just to get in front of a couple hundred folks, right?
Exactly.
And,
Yes.
and to think that I don't know. I think the cool part of that, if you look at it from that perspective of 4,200 folks,
Yeah.
A bunch of
you're
gigs.
kind of culling your own audience,
Yeah.
and those people are rocking with you. They're listening to you, and that's a lot. You might have a bigger impact with those 4,200 than somebody that has a couple 100,000 or 1 million followers, but they don't really rock with them. I mean,
Right.
there's a
And
difference.
I really am truly blessed. I don't say 42, only 40. Like, I truly feel blessed to have that amount of people listening to what my conglomerate has put out. And it never taken for granted. Everything that we have worked for is I am so thankful for it. I couldn't do it without my guys. I couldn't do it without the people listening, whether
Sure.
it's always thought about and accounted for. Like, love everyone that deals with us.
Yeah, absolutely. We don't ask this a ton, but we got this thing with TikTok that not everybody's sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, kind of why I stopped posting videos.
Yeah, but
Understood.
I'm curious, kind of what your, I don't know, like basic strategy is with social media, or kind of what your plan is to communicate what's going on with y'all. Do you have kind of a post as we go, or is there like a calendar in place to know, hey, I need to post X number of times?
Right. So, thankfully, bring him up again. Chance, old Papa Chance, really, really, really gets that done for me.
Nice.
I was all, whenever it was just Caleb Michael band, I was on top of posting, the week or 2 weeks before, doing that stuff. Now that we're getting to the point where it's like, hey, you need a little bit of art in this, or you need a little bit of something that pops so that they look at it. We're posting so many times, you got to change it up. He tries to do at least a post a day. And if we have a bigger show cut like Mule Barn,
Right.
typically we'll advertise a couple weeks out if it's something smaller, or like a solo show. But bigger stuff, and we try to get a calendar going. Obviously, everyone knows, unless you're like big time, December, January, and about midway through February, slow as hell.
Yeah,
So it's hard to post a calendar there. You kind of post as you go. We're Chance is always on top of doing shit like that,
Nice.
but it's really kind of take it as you go.
Yep. Well, I know I caught you guys going, and I'm curious what your thoughts are on this, but I know I caught you going live, which is super cool.
Yes, you did. I remember that.
Yeah, no, it was great. I
Yeah, I
had a
remember
blast.
that now.
But
I kind of forgot about it till you mentioned that. Yeah.
well, and to me, that kind of goes back to that whole thing of, we'll drive all over the creation to get to whatever, but then all of a sudden you turn on your live and you got 80 or 100 folks,
Yeah.
sitting there interacting. Maybe they don't buy a t-shirt, but they do feel a little bit more connected. And that's one of the things that I really liked about TikTok, regardless of
I
what
love
happens.
that. Yes.
But it is cool to be able to be like, oh, here's a guy that I'm cheering for, and boom,
Right.
there he is. He's singing songs to me,
Yeah.
So,
Like I saw you in there. I was like, Talbo's in here. What's going on, bro? And like, no, it's cool for me. Like seeing you in there and people that I've never like even thought I'd meet
for sure.
in there, just like throwing me gifts and saying, hey, what's up? Play this song. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can play that, but I'll play this. No, it's
a pretty cool medium.
Yeah, it's a great medium, honestly. I just hope it doesn't go away so I can keep doing it.
Understand. So you want to?
So you enjoy playing those lives and
I
things
do.
like that? Yeah.
Honestly, I do. I stay pretty busy, whether it's being active, going to the gym, golfing, trying to work on me, or writing, reaching out to venues and stuff like that. And it does slip my mind from time to time. I say more often than it should. And but whenever I'll hit up my guitar, it's like, yo, drop your plans. I'm grabbing beer. We're gonna meet at the Stewed and we're gonna do a live or something like that. And it's always a good time. I get to hang with my buddy, drink a little beer, and then play. I mean, I'd be doing the
Whatever
same thing.
comes to mind. And
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Just got a
It's a
camera
lot of fun, honestly.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Caleb makes me feel like I'm not really getting a whole lot accomplished because every time I've reached out to him in the last month or so, he's on the way to the gym or he's at the gym, and I'm like, damn. But shout out to you, man. That's great. Stay after it.
Thank you, man. I'm going to. I got to lose some beer weight.
Yeah, I doubt it.
Yeah. No, that I was wondering about that as far as the lives, if you actually enjoyed it or not, because a lot of people feel like social media is a chore, but
Yeah.
I've never really asked about the live part. I know it can be discouraging if there's not a lot of interaction,
Right.
but you never know what you're gonna get out of it, but um, still, I imagine. I mean, it could be extremely beneficial to people
Oh yeah.
if they would wanted to use it. So.
And like I said, social media, thankfully to Chance, is not very daunting for me. So when it's like, hey, let's get on TikTok and do it, it's not like, oh, this is a drag. It's like, hey, let's go do this, because Chance has already taken care of
That
everything
would
else.
probably come across if it did feel like a chore, to be honest.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I never want to do. Like if I'm having a bad day, like if I'm on stage, it will not show. But in my day-to-day life, you can see if I'm having a bad day. You can see it. Like I wear my heart on my sleeve. You're gonna like, I'm not gonna treat you like shit, but you can see, hey, Caleb's not having the best day today. So yeah, I never want to do that, but that's why, like, maybe sometimes I'm feeling drained after lifting or doing whatever. I'm like, we're not gonna give that product to anyone.
Makes sense.
Gotcha.
I
was gonna
go ahead, man.
I was going to ask who are some folks that's kind of I guess it's kind of one of our rapid fire questions in a way, but
Yeah.
who's somebody that you would like to collaborate with? Maybe one that's alive and one that's not.
1,000%.
Uh-oh.
Shane Smith.
Okay.
Shane Smith and the Saints. I've looked up to him for a long time. I remember seeing him in these little bitty bars, even in Denton. I've traveled to go see him. The passion that they put out on stage, the show that they put out every time,
extremely consistent.
It is, so and it's true. Like you can see, like, hey, they're at the end of a 14-day run. They're tired, but they're still putting their all out there.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And between the lyrics of their songs, the music itself, and just the pure talent and passion that you have on stage there, that would be my number one right there.
Nice.
Very cool. I could hear a little bit of. I mean, I know that "Where the Crow Flies," that's a rocking song, but there was little pieces of something going on there that had a little bit of that feel to it. I don't know what it was exactly. I couldn't put a pin on it if I tried, but there was a little something going on there that made me think of that. But
hell yeah.
But from my ear, one of the things I love about Shane Smith is that I know it's a Shane Smith, I know it's a Shane Smith song, like right out of the gate. Like I never have to guess their tones. I know exactly and sonically they do something a little bit different than a lot of folks. There's always this kind of swelling thing that's going on, and
it's huge.
Yeah, the sound is massive. And that's one of the things that I really loved about, this way before your time, Caleb, but going back in the day, listening to like even rock and roll radio when it was on AM radio.
Sure.
Like you knew within the first 3 seconds what band it was. You didn't have to, their tones were just, and I think Shane has that as well, which is kind of unique today a little bit. All right. So
someone I work with was kind of asking me about them because of Yellowstone.
Yeah.
And I was like, the best way I can describe them is like a country version of U2. And they were like, I don't like U2. I was like, okay,
just listen.
Just
listen. You'll like them.
It's airy, like you just said. The as soon as it comes on, it's U2, whether you love them or not.
Right.
You know who it is. So same as what you said. All right.
Yeah, couldn't be happier for those dudes. I know enough of us have seen them play to 15 or 20 people, so we're excited to see them. like we said with Dustin, they don't have to charge $8 a ticket anymore. So it's
Good old
pretty cool.
sunshine.
Yeah.
Love that guy.
Yeah. All right. I just have one more question, and then I'm going to hop
Sure.
into the rapid fire so we can get you
Yeah.
out of here on time. I know Soul Gravy has an important question to ask you as well.
That,
So, you know what? I'll just go ahead and hop into the rapid fire. Spotify Wrapped came out here within the last 30 days.
Mhm.
Any idea who was in your top 5? Or if you listen to Apple, I think they have a version of that.
Shane Smith, Noah
Nice.
Kahn, Whiskey Myers.
Oh, nice. Very solid.
Oh yeah,
I
I
like
can't remember
that.
the other two.
That's all right. That's good. This is a Desert Island album. You get to take one with you. Sadly, you're stranded on a desert island, but you only get to take one album.
Hail Mary.
All right.
Shane Smith.
There you go.
I remembered your other two. It was Dustin Schaefer and Tim Lightyear.
Yeah, there you go.
Probably.
Fair enough.
Honestly, Tim was probably on there.
That's awesome. Dinner with one historical figure.
That's tough. How old is historic?
It's,
Do they have to be dead?
Not necessarily. It can be anybody. It doesn't matter, how they impacted the world or whatever.
Nolan Ryan,
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Sit down.
big
have
baseball
some
guy.
Nolan Ryan hot dogs, right? Yeah, that'd be fun.
Beef,
So how did it feel punching Robin Ventura?
right?
Yeah, that was great. All right. Sorry, Robin. All right. What's your ideal green room look like?
A fridge with a lot of beer
All right.
and a couch.
Do you have
And
a
a bathroom.
preference? Are we seeking out a sponsor or
Miller Lite, of
Miller
course.
Lite? Okay, nice.
Full of Miller Lite, a couch and a bathroom. That's all that matters. Maybe a TV so I can plug in my Switch and play Switch golf.
There you go. Nice. First concert that you paid for. They could be the same thing. Just depends on.
First concert was Mercy Me in the Vista Ridge Mall.
Oh wow! All right.
Christian band, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
First one that I don't even want to admit this.
It's okay.
First one I paid for was Luke Bryan at Billy Bob's.
All right. Well, shout out to Billy Bob's.
Yes.
All right. Appreciate your honesty. Bucket list venue, maybe one inside of Texas and one outside of Texas.
Whitewater Amphitheater in Texas and Red Rocks.
Okay. Two great choices.
Yeah.
All right. This one's a little bit controversial, but it's not that
Yeah.
controversial. So tribute bands, yay or nay?
Hell no.
Okay. It's 100% no on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
All right.
All right. Soul Gravy, I'm going to pass it to you if you are ready
Yeah.
for the super important question.
I am. So this started off one Luke Bryan's story. Apparently, Luke has some hunting land around my area because of some for duck hunting,
Uh-huh.
and so he's been spotted a lot around.
Oh
And
no.
all of the selfies that I've seen that women are taking with Luke, they all have filters on. So Luke, I'm like, come on, ladies, at least take the eyelashes off of Luke. Come on.
That's
Like,
funny.
he seems like a nice enough guy. Take the eyelashes off. You know what I mean? Get rid of the filter, at least for the selfie. I mean, you're gonna 20 years you're gonna be telling your grandkids about meeting Luke Bryan, and then you're gonna look like you were 30. And so, anyways, that was my like, come on, do him a favor. He seems nice, but. Anyway, so this started out as a joke on episode 1, and now it is a requirement that we ask this. So,
Deal.
Caleb, what is your favorite Little Debbie snack? It's tough stuff, right?
God, why'd I have to say this on a podcast? Cream pie?
Oatmeal cream pie? Yeah, for
Just
sure.
put the oatmeal cream pie in front of it. It sounds better.
That's gonna haunt you. Yeah, it is.
That's solid.
Yeah,
Well
with
done.
oatmeal
Yeah.
cream. I should have said oatmeal first.
Yeah, we got you.
Put that in
fine.
there.
We got you.
Well, it's confusing.
Yeah. That's okay. We
The
gotta
train approves. as
Train's
well,
coming
too.
through.
Well,
20
time to go.
22nd of this month, you guys are playing up in Justin at the Mule Barn.
Yes, sir.
So anybody who's watching in the anywhere near DFW, come down. It'll be a good show. Check them out.
Make sure you follow on all the socials. Engage with the comments, or engage with the post. Comment, like, share.
Hell yeah.
When they ask pre-save something, go pre-save something. It doesn't cost anything. Follow wherever you listen to your music. That way, when they release music, it lets you know. So.
Yep. And next time we chat with you, which hopefully is soon, you'll be over 5,000.
Hopefully, man. I've enjoyed the hell out of this, man. Seriously. Mr. Gravy and Talbo.
Dr. Gravy, close enough.
Dr. Gray.
Man, we appreciate you taking time because I know you're busy today. But have a good show, and
Will do.
we'll chat with you soon.
I appreciate the hell out of y'all,
Sell
man.
some T-shirts for Chance.
Hell yeah.
All right.
Peace, y'all.
All right, see you.